organized with you guys. So before you met me, and before you met any of the biologists that helped us out in the field, close your eyes and visualize for me a scientist, and then describe them to me. Yeah?
Like a white lab coat.
White lab coat. Okay, keep going. Anyone else? Yeah?
They wear hiking boots.
Hiking boots. Yay! That's the first one I've heard that have hiking boots. Okay.
Glasses.
Glasses. I forgot my glasses today. Yeah? Anyone? Yes?
A bunch of pens and pencils.
Pens and pencils. Okay. Yeah?
A really heavy backpack.
Really heavy backpack. That is so true. Yes. Anyone else? Picture the scientist, the classic scientist. Yes.
Him holding a beaker with like acid in it.
All right. So you said a couple of things that are very key. So first is him holding beakers and stuff. So what I'm getting here, with the exception of our backpacked and hiking boots person, which I love the lab people too. But so we have white lab coat, we have him, and we have chemicals and stuff. So we're picturing kind of like a Bill Nye Science guy, right? So while that totally exists, and in our lab we have a ton of grad students that are working on chemicals and sagebrush and everything, and they are white lab coat, goggles on, mixing things. And that totally exists, but it's not the only representative of science and scientists in general. So I am a scientist. I go out in the field and do my research, whereas they are doing their research in the lab. Where I don't wear maybe a white lab coat, I'll wear like my Columbia pants so I don't get rained on, and my hiking boots, and my really, really heavy backpack. I do sometimes wear goggles, I guess. So my point is there's a lot of different people out there doing science, and science isn't this like stuffy, top tier, totally unapproachable thing. You guys, has anyone ever asked a question before? Cool. Has anyone ever asked a question and then decided a way to answer that question? Yeah. Have you ever decided a way to answer that question, said, oh, this is what I got, and then interpreted that and be like, oh, this must be what it is? That's totally science. You ask a question, you come up with the methods that you have in order to answer that question, you collect your data, or whatever the results are, and then you interpret them. That is science. It's a very creative process, it's a really fun process, and it's all a process based around the phrase, I don't know, which is awesome. In science, there's so much that we don't know. We base our questions about what we don't know on what we do know, and then we discover. And it's a really, really, really exciting thing to do. So yeah, so based on kind of our views of a scientist, what did you guys notice about our biologists that were out in the field? Did we see white lab coats? We didn't necessarily see chemicals, but not in the classic sense that you would think in beakers and everything. Sagebrush contains a ton of chemicals, and so that's something that we analyzed back in our lab. What did you notice about, so I said something, so I said him, right? So we had some women out there. I think predominantly in the past, this has been a male-dominated field, where men were usually the ones that went into sciences, and now we're starting to see equally women and men go into the sciences. Young women, older women, young men, just a ton of people, a lot of really diverse people with a lot of really diverse backgrounds are now getting into the sciences, and it's a really, really exciting time to get into science because there are so many diverse people with different backgrounds that can bring different things to the table. So yeah, it's really, really exciting, and if you guys want to get into science, everyone has an equal opportunity in order to do so, and I think that's really, really exciting. Where in the past, maybe not so